Welcome into the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. Tom Leach along with Jim Goodman, Keeneland's Director of Wagering Development. Obviously, a lot of things going on for sports organizations this week, so we're just going to focus on what is scheduled to happen, and that is a big card at Oaklawn Park on Saturday, headlined by the Grade 2 Rebel Stakes, a Kentucky Derby prep. And there are 3 stakes races starting in the 8th, which begins the late pick 4. So, Jim, we'll just start there and then give our pick 4 tickets at the end. It begins with the Essex Handicap, 4-year-olds and up at a mile and a 16th. I thought pretty well-matched group in the Essex. How'd you see it?
Yeah, I thought so, too. Of course, both the Essex and the Azeri, we're going to talk about in a minute, but the 9th race, have preps that were run a few weeks ago that the Houston Lady at Sam Houston for the Azeri and the Razorback. All these horses ran as a prep for the Essex. It's one of those things that it's a grade 3, but it rounds up 5 horses out of the 7 exit the Razorback. So you got some form to go on. Warriors Charge won the Razorback, but Bankit ran a very good second. So Bankit would be my win pick here for Asmussen. Run 2 seconds, just got beat ahead the last 2 times at Oaklawn. So he's in terrific form for Asmussen. Santana is his regular rider. So I'm going to take him to come right back. But there's 2 other horses in here that I like. Snapper Sinclair was stuck outside in the 10-hole in the Razorback and had a wide trip all the way around. I thought ran a decent race. Moving from Le Peru to Rosario on a dirt race is a big move up. So Snapper Sinclair has a good chance, I think, because of those 2 factors. And then Pioneer Spirit just kind of raced around the track. Was only a length off the lead at the top of the stretch. Got beat by 4.5. Ran a good 4th to Snapper Sinclair and Bankit. So I'm going to use him as well. So 3 of the 5 horses that came out of that race I'm going to use in this one. We'll get to pick 4, but Bankit is my win pick for Steve Asmussen.
I ended up taking a shot with Snapper Sinclair. Not a real strong opinion, but I thought he had a really bad post position last time, especially for his running style, who's usually up not too far off the pace and could well be right there on it in this race. He's run well over this track. I also like the change to Joel Rosario. I think he can maybe help this horse finish even better in a fight down the stretch. So I'm going to take Snapper Sinclair, who I think started to get back to his best form last fall. Bankit and Laughing Fox, 2 horses from the Asmussen barn. I thought both had a good shot. I liked Laughing Fox last year, and now I think his second start as a 4-year-old. I think he could make a move forward. I think he could have a nice year, and if he can jump up off that first race off the layoff, he could be right there. Pioneer Spirit's the other one I'm going to use in here for Brad Cox. Hadn't been able to run back to that 105 from last fall, but still has been in pretty good and consistent form. Snapper Sinclair, though, the win pick for me. 9th race is the Azeri, as you mentioned. It's a mile and a 16th, the female version of the Essex, and I thought it was a 2-horse race. I leaned to Lady Apple, a 97 buyer in her 4-year-old debut, lifetime best number, and she's 3 for 3 at Oaklawn. Really nice 3-year-old filly who looks like she might be even better at 4. Serengeti Empress, the Oaks winner, great speed, and at a mile and a 16th, she could be awfully salty. So I think it's one of those 2. I'm going to lean to Lady Apple. How about you?
I like those 2, both coming out of the Houston Ladies Classic. They finished a half length apart. Talamo takes over Serengeti Empress from Pratt. First time on her for Talamo. Santana rides back for his regular Asmussen. So those 2 are probably a notch above. But I'm going to use a couple more when we get to pick 4. Street Band for Larry Jones and Sophie Doyle ran really well in the Houston Ladies Classic. Only got beat by 3/4 of a length on a 4-wide trip. So I think she's right there. And then My Lady Curlin, I'm going to put her in there for Brad Cox coming out of the same race. Those horses all finished within a length of each other. So if you like one of them, I don't know how you can not like all 4 of them. I think the winner comes from those 4, but to cover the pick 4, that's the 4 I'm going to take.
Let's go to the Grade 2 Rebel, Kentucky Derby prep. I think Bob Baffert and Nadal is probably going to take most of the money, but only the 3rd lifetime start for this one. You've got Silver Prospector coming off a nice win. Who do you like in the Rebel?
I like Nadal. I think this is Baffert's Derby horse, and one of the 3 or 4 Derby horses. the race didn't come up that tough. I think Silver Prospector is the other likely horse coming out of the Southwest, but I'm going to take a stand with Nadal, saying he's going to come out of those last two works are just incredible at Santa Anita. So if he takes the racetrack, I think he wins. Silver Prospector would be my alternate pick in here, and I can't see anybody else stepping up to challenge them. Maybe Three Technique off the Smarty Jones, but I just don't think the others are in those two classes. So Nadal and Silver Prospector get to the pick 4. It's going to be at least no more than those two for me.
I'm going to go Three Technique in here, mainly because I think I'll get a little bit of a price. Jeremiah Englehart's a really good trainer, but with Baffert and Asmussen having impressive 3-year-olds in here, I think this horse will get overlooked. 90 Buyer in the first start at 3 was a significant improvement from last year, and he had some trouble in that race, and he's had 5 nice workouts since then. So I'm going to play within the race. I'm going to box him in exactas as the key horse with Nadal and Silver Prospector. Basically, try to get one of those two out of the top 2 slots, and I think it will pay a bit more. I'll use them all 3 when we get to the Rebel. I think Nadal's probably the most likely winner. Although I was really impressed with Silver Prospector's win last time. I like this horse at Keeneland. There were some really well thought of horses in that maiden breaking win at Keeneland last fall, and he won impressively. Came back and took the Kentucky Jockey Club. So. And was really impressive winning last time. So I think whoever comes out of here as a winner is going to be a real strong contender in the Arkansas Derby. But Three Technique I'm going to take a shot with. So let's get to the pick 4. And the last race finishes up with 3-year-old filly maidens going 6 furlongs. So give me your pick 4 ticket and how you've going to play that last race.
Okay, pick 4 ticket is 4, 6, 7, the first leg in the Essex handicap. So the 3 horses I talked about, which are Bankit, the 4, Snapper Sinclair, the 6, and Pioneer Spirit, the 7. Going to go 4 deep in the Azeri with a 1, 2, 4, 5 Street Band, My Lady Curlin, Lady Apple, Serengeti Empress. I am going to single Nadal to keep the ticket rather inexpensive at $42. If you want to take the other one, Silver Prospector will be my second pick in there, but I'm going to single Nadal, the 1 horse. And then I'm going 7 deep in the maiden special weight. I didn't have a strong feel for this one at all. Lucky Betty is probably going to be the favorite off that half-length loss in the maiden special on February 17th. But some other horses look okay to me. Some first-time starters. The Tipsy Gal, the 12 that came out of the same race with Dallas Stewart. So I'm going to go 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we use 7 horses in that race. Lucky Betty, Cynical Girl, Sacred Union, the 6th, and then the 9th through the 12th are Never Say Can't, Weekend Fun, French Cafe, and Tipsy Gal. So 4, 6, 7 with 1, 2, 4, 5 with 1 with 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12 for $42.
I'm going to use the 4 I mentioned in the Essex, 3, 4, 6, 7. 2 in the Azeri, 4 and 5, Lady Apple, Serengeti Empress. Use Nadal, Silver Prospector, 3 Technique in the Rebel, 1, 4, and 6. And then I'm going to go 4 deep in the maiden race. Never Say Can't's going to be the win pick. First-timer for Larry Jones. Nice work pattern that suggests she could be ready. But Tipsy Gal, I think, is certainly worth a long look. She was favored in her debut, and Dallas Stewart's not a guy known to win first time out, and yet this one went favored. So I thought that was noteworthy. Lucky Betty ran well, as you mentioned, first time out. And then Legs Galore, a first-timer for D'Amato, I'm going to throw in as well, just out of respect for the barn. Not a particularly strong barn for first-time wins, but I think it's a one I'll throw in. So 3, 4, 6, 7 with 4, 5 with 1, 4, 6 with 3, 7, 9, 12, $48 ticket for me. Got the Jeff Ruby Stakes, that card going on up at Turfway this weekend. This card out at Oaklawn and other spots around the country. Best of luck wherever you're playing. Stay safe. We'll see you next week for another edition of the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.